flag of the United States is a symbol that citizens assign a great deal of meaning to. As a result, any disrespect towards it is offensive to many Americans. During the re-election campaign for Ronald Reagan in August 1984, this was put on display when Gregory Lee Johnson set a flag ablaze. On August 22, 1984, the Republican National Convention took place in Dallas, Texas. It was here that Ronald Reagan would be officially renominated for president. A group of protesters had gathered to protest Reagan's policies, as well as the policies of some Dallas-based corporations. The group marched through the streets and chanted their message, but the controversy arose when they arrived at the Dallas City Hall. Here, a protester handed a flag to another protester, Gregory Lee Johnson. Johnson then doused the flag with kerosene and set it ablaze. Demonstrators circled the burning flag and chanted, "America, the red, white, and blue, we spit on you!" Nobody had been hurt or threatened with violence during the demonstration, but many were deeply offended. One man even took remains of the burnt flag and buried them in his backyard. As a result of his actions, Johnson was arrested. Johnson was charged for violating a Texas law that prohibited flag desecration. At the time, 47 other states had similar laws in place. Johnson was sentenced to 1 year in prison and was ordered to pay $2,000. Johnson appealed this conviction, arguing that it was a violation of his right to free speech. The case was taken to the Fifth Court of Appeals of Texas. However, Johnson lost this appeal. This was not the end of the landmark case. After losing this appeal, Johnson took it to the highest court in Texas, the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. This time, the court sided with Johnson. The reason given, consistent with the First Amendment, was that the state could not punish Johnson for expressive conduct. The state of Texas was not pleased with this decision, arguing that it was interested in preserving the flag as a symbol of national unity, as well as preventing breaches of peace. A petition for a writ of certiorari, where a lower court delivers its record in a case so that the Supreme Court could choose whether or not to review it, was filed. The case was accepted for review in 1988. The final opinion, released in 1989, remains controversial to this day. In a close 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court sided with Johnson. It was decided that under the circumstances, his burning of the flag was protected by the First Amendment. The court rejected the argument that the statute was enacted to prevent breaches of peace because no disturbance of the peace actually occurred or threatened to occur because of Johnson's burning of the flag. This decision also struck down flag protection laws in other states. According to the majority opinion on the case, the First Amendment literally forbids the abridgment only of speech, but we have long recognized that its protection does not end at the spoken or written word. If there is a bedrock principle underlying the First Amendment, it is that the government may not prohibit the expression of an idea simply because society finds the idea itself offensive or disagreeable. Justice William Brennan wrote the majority opinion for the case. He was joined in his vote by Justices Thurgood Marshall, Harry Blackmun, Antonin Scalia, and Anthony Kennedy. Kennedy also wrote a separate concurrence. The court found that, under the circumstances, Johnson's conduct constituted expressive conduct, permitting him to invoke the First Amendment, and that, occurring as it did at the end of a demonstration coinciding with the Republican National Convention, the expressive, overtly political nature of the conduct was both intentional and overwhelmingly apparent.
Flag. The ideal way to preserve the flag's special role in society was not by punishing those who express contrary views, but by attempting to persuade them with further dialogue.
The majority opinion triggered dissent from Justices William Rehnquist and Paul Stevens, who argued that the flag has special meaning and that Johnson was not punished for his opinion, only for how he expressed it. Despite this, the decision has been upheld in subsequent cases. On 6 different occasions, the House of Representatives voted on a constitutional amendment named the Flag Desecration Amendment. It states, "The Congress shall have power to prohibit the physical desecration of the flag of the United States." Each time the amendment has been introduced, it has passed the House, but never passed the Senate with the 67 required votes. However, it has never gained less than 63 affirmative votes. In fact, it failed by only 1 vote in 2006. The Texas v. Johnson case was a landmark case because it reaffirmed free speech, as well as defended a controversial action in the name of free expression. While flag desecration is unpopular in America, it is still protected by the Constitution, because it is free expression. In a way, the flag is burned in celebration of the rights of U.S. citizens, even if that was not the original intent.